This is a hip mobility routine for people who want to push further than the static, boring stretches they're going to find in millions of other hip mobility videos. Today we're going to work on end range of motion, or teaching your hips how to move and control new positions rather than just sit passively in them. This is perfect if you're like me and trying to undo some stiffness from a long run, or sitting in stupid positions all day. Let's grab a mat and get started. Workout's going to be 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and we're going to get started with some adductor rocks. So I'm going to be in this half kneeling position, left leg out to the side, toes pointed to the ceiling, and I'm gonna hinge backward from my hips, get my glute to my knee, then I'm gonna come lean forward, lift my leg up, get some glute torture in, and come back in. So I'm gonna come up to see this from the side. I'm going to hinge backward from those hips. My hips are the only thing that's moving. Then I'm gonna inch my hands forward, lift up, and come back down. The biggest mistake I see people make is they want to do this from their shoulders. You're not moving from your shoulders. Your hips are the only thing that's moving, and they're moving back. Then you're gonna walk forward, lift that leg up as far as you can, and come back in. All right, next we're gonna do that on that opposite side. So right leg pointed out to the side, toes up, and I'm gonna go push backward from my hips, heel to glute, walk my hands forward, lift that leg up as far as I can, and come back down. Move backward from those hips, hands forward, lift that leg up. If you do a lot of big lifts like squats, deadlifts, swings, even things like lunges, the thing that's the primary mover is your hips. So practicing this hip hinge, which is a critical movement, is something that will not only get you a great stretch in that inner thigh and other parts of your lower body, but also teach you how to do one of the most important moves you can do to prevent injury, to move better day to day, and to get stronger as well. All right, up next we're gonna do some butterfly extensions. So I'm gonna be seated in this hurdler stretch position where one leg's at a 45-degree angle, one leg's out straight. Then I'm going to take my leg that's at an angle, extend it to meet my other leg, and come back. Extend this leg from the 45-degree position to the fully extended position. We're gonna go slow and controlled. Now you might notice that my hands are up. I'm keeping them off the ground to make it a little bit more of a challenge, and so that my core is working really hard. But if you wanna keep them on the mat, to help with your coordination, your balance, getting that leg straight, that's a good idea as well. Another thing to watch here is to make sure you're not slouching while you're doing this. While you're slouching, you're deactivating those abs. So keep your chest really proud, keep your gaze forward, and you should be able to activate those abs. All right, we're gonna do that same thing on that opposite side. So this left leg is gonna be extended and stationary, and then we're gonna take this right leg from a 45-degree position to the extended position. Again, proud chest, gaze forward. Couple quick fixes can really help you activate those abs and strengthen those hip flexors as well. This left leg isn't moving, but this right leg is moving to come meet this in extension. Extending our legs is really important for range of motion, for injury prevention, for getting stronger. So having a way just to practice this here is a great way to stay injury-free, to work on coordination, body awareness, and also strengthening those abs and hip flexors. So 10 seconds left. You want to kind of go at the same pace on both sides here as well. And you don't want to swing that leg, you want to move with control. All right, next we're going to get up and we're going to do some assisted cossack squats. So I'm going to be on the ball of my foot, my heel is not on the ground, knee pointed straight ahead of me, then we're just going to walk up to that other side and come back. Here we're moving laterally, which is something that we do every day, but since it's a little bit difficult to train, like in a static stretch, or even doing something like a lunge, a squat, a deadlift, a shoulder press, it can mean we're very weak in this lateral movement. and not have a lot of mobility. So doing some more active, dynamic end range of motion mobility here. It can do a lot to stay injury-free and to help us just move better day to day. I really feel this in my inner thighs, and I also feel this a little bit in my calf as well. So always feel the stretch where you're the tightest. And as long as it feels like releasing tension instead of something painful, that you're doing the right thing. So now we're gonna do some half kneeling rocks. So we're gonna be in our kneeling lunge position. Our back is not arched, it's in a straight line, ribs into hips, chest proud, gaze ahead of me, and we're just gonna lean forward to really get that stretch in that hip flexor as well. We're gonna keep those hips in a straight line, move forward, and come back. When we're doing this stretch, we're also activating our glute. And when we activate that glute, that can also help really get into that hip flexor. If our hip flexors are tight, which most of us have tight hip flexors, especially if you sit all day, working on activating that glute or strengthening that glute is just as important as stretching that hip flexor, because the stronger that glute is, the less tightness is gonna be in that hip flexor. So we're gonna stay in this kneeling hip flexor position, and now we're gonna add some shoulder circles. So our arms are gonna be clasped behind our head, and we're gonna point our shoulder to the mat, to our knee, to the ceiling, and back down to the knee, to the mat, to the ceiling, and to our heel. Here we're gonna hitting that IT band, some other muscles in our lower back, our shoulders, and we're really also working on rotation, moving in more than one plane of motion here as well. I am switching the direction I go in each circle, so we're going both clockwise and counterclockwise too, to practice that rotation in both directions. 5 more seconds left, and then we're going to switch to another hip flexor rock on that opposite side. So my left foot is in front of me. I'm feeling that stretch in my right hip flexor. My back is not arched, it's in a straight line, ribs into hips, knee is tracking in front of my middle toes, and we're gonna lean forward till we feel that glute turn on and come back. Forward lean will really help stretch those hip flexors because it also gets that glute. Lean forward, come back. This isn't a big lean, as you can see from this angle. We're just going forward till we feel that stretch and we feel that glute turn on. One thing to keep in mind here is you want your hips to be in a straight line, and if you can't draw a straight line between your nose and your belly button, that's a sign they might not be, so try looking to see if you need to move one hip forward, one hip backward. So we move, we're also not arching our back. So as we go from here, we're not arching our back and then moving, we're keeping our ribs into our hips. All right, now time for the shoulder circles on that right side. Hands clasped behind our head. We're gonna move our elbow to our knee, to the mat, to the ceiling, and to our heel. And then we're gonna go backward to the ceiling, to the mat, to our knee, and to our heel. Balance can be a little tricky here. If you need a wall, something to hold on to, that's okay. Getting into that IT band, our psoas, some of those stabilizer muscles in our low back as well. Our hips, our back, our shoulders are more connected than we might think. And when we can add some rotation or working on just hitting more than one muscle at the same time, that can help with overall movement quality, quality of life, and overall pain reduction. All right, next we're gonna do an alternating 90-90 with a reach. So to get in 90-90, both my legs are at a 90-degree angle. We're gonna twist off to the side, reach over with the arm that's next to this front leg, and then we're gonna switch. So now my left leg's in front, right leg's off to the side, twisting off, and I'm reaching up like I'm trying to grab something off the top shelf at a grocery store. This 90-90 position might not be the easiest thing to get into, and if you're struggling with this, try sitting on something like a pillow, a yoga block, or even try doubling up your mat, just giving yourself a little bit more support for something you're sitting on can help a lot as well. Also, I want to try to keep my knees as close to the ground as possible. It's hard to get them perfectly to the ground, but if you can keep them as stationary and as close to the ground as possible, that will deepen this stretch. All right, next we're going to do a walk down. So we're going to get on our toes and we're going to just walk our hands down to the ground, get those knees to the ground, walk back into a tabletop position. So we're in our tabletop position and we're gonna walk forward with those hands, get those knees as far to the ground as you can. You should really feel this in your quads and in those hip flexors. Walk down to that ground. This is one of my favorites to get really deep into those quads that can be tight, those hip flexors as well. We want to keep our gaze straight ahead of us. Go slow, controlled, lower, and come back up. Two, one. Okay, next we are going to do a pigeon with a leg extension. So we're going to get into our pigeon pose on our right side, and we're going to swoop this leg around to the front and come back into pigeon. Getting into pigeon, then we're almost going to draw a semicircle with that left leg, come out in front of us, back into pigeon. Pigeon is a great way to stretch out that hip, that IT band, and adding this leg swing also gets us moving our leg through different planes of motion, different ranges of motion, and also works on that extension that we worked on in that butterfly to extension earlier in this routine. So just moving that joint through a lot of different angles can again just help us get more mobile, work on our coordination, body awareness, and control. All right, now we're gonna do that on that opposite side. Our left leg's gonna be out in pigeon, and our right leg is gonna be drawing that semicircle over, out in front of us, and coming back. Now, when I'm doing my circle, I'm trying to keep my hands off the ground again to help with my core strength. And also while doing this, it's important for also to realize you're gonna have to move a little bit through your hips and your shoulders to get that space as well. This is one I really feel on both sides, and if you do, be sure to leave me a comment. All right, last rep in. Next, we're going to get back up, standing up, and we're gonna do a cossack squat to a lunge. So, like we were before, we're gonna get into that cossack squat, heel to glute, then we're gonna pivot into a runner's lunge. So knee in front of middle toes, proud chest, feeling that stretch in that right hip flexor. Then we're gonna get into that cossack squat on the opposite side. Pivot, get up into a runner's lunge. If you need to hold on to something for balance, go right ahead and come back in. Cossack squat, walk over. I'm staying on my toes. We're pivoting, come back up. Proud chest, gaze forward, hip flexor being stretched. Gonna come back down. And we're doing a lot of different movements, a lot of coordination, a lot of balance, and we are stretching our entire lower body all at once. All right, so now we're going on to our final exercise, which is going to be a sumo squat plus hip internal rotation. So in my sumo squat, wide stance, knees pointed out to the side, then I'm going to internally rotate into a lunge, come back into my sumo squat, opposite side, internally rotate that hip, and come back in. If you want to stand up between reps, go right ahead. This can be a little tricky. So I'm gonna internally rotate as far as I can and come back to our sumo squat. Hips go back, internally rotate that hip, and come back in. This is one where everybody's range of motion is gonna look a little different. If you can only get this far, that's fine. You can get all the way down into even a reverse lunge. That's also a great way to challenge yourself. Let's get that final rep in. All right, everyone, great work. That was a 15-minute dynamic hip mobility routine. If this video made you feel even 1% looser, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That's one of the most important things you can do for the algorithm, and it's one of the most important things you can do to help a small channel like this one grow. If you wanna go on after this one, I'd recommend checking out these videos for some more hip mobility and these videos for some more light movement. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for working out with me, and I'll see you next week.